Hi everybody, welcome back to the Gate of Heaven video diary, where we are continuing to prepare for the celebration of the bicentenary of the birth of the Bab, whose writings are the basis of my upcoming album, Gate of Heaven. And I hope that you're continuing to enjoy Promised One. Thank you again for all the great feedback and for spreading it around. I really appreciate that. And today I'm thrilled to announce that in about 10 days' time, on Saturday, March 16th, I'm going to release the next song from Gate of Heaven. It's a song called Wondrous Paradise, and it's one of my personal favourites from the album. It's a song about the effect of the Bab and his writings, his verses, on the people who met him. So look out for Wondrous Paradise on Saturday, March 16th. But as we prepare for that release, I thought we could dive back into the Dawnbreakers and continue our exploration of the story of the Bab. So in the last video, the Bab had gathered around him these 17 individuals who had independently found him through their own personal search and had become his first chosen disciples, and he conferred upon them this name, the Letters of the Living. But you might remember in the last video, the Bab had actually promised Mullah Hussein that there would in fact be 18 of these Letters of the Living. And so one night, in conversation with Mullah Hussein, the Bab says to him, "Tomorrow night, the remaining letter will arrive and will complete the number of my chosen disciples." And the very next evening, the Bab and Mullah Hussein are walking down the street in Shiraz, and Mullah Hussein is walking several paces behind the Bab so as to hide the fact that he's associated with him. And while Mullah Hussein is walking, this young, dishevelled, travel-stained youth walks up to him, and he points to the Bab and he says to Mullah Hussein, "Why do you seek to hide him from me? I can recognize him by his gait. I confidently testify that none besides him, whether in the East or in the West, can claim to be the truth. None other can manifest the power and majesty that radiate from his holy person." And Mullah Hussein just marvels at this young, dishevelled-looking youth of about 20 years old who looks like he's been travelling on foot for days, if not weeks, and is possessed of such profound spiritual insight that he's able to recognize the Bab merely by looking at the way he walks. And so Mullah Hussein asks him to wait for a moment, and he runs up the street to the Bab. And the Bab says to him, "Marvel not at the strange behavior of that youth. We have in the world of the spirit been communing with him. We know him already." And so Mullah Hussein then introduces to the Bab this young man whose name is Qudus, and who becomes the final 18th letter of the living. And Qudus really later on takes a leading role in the story of the Dawnbreakers, along with people like Mullah Hussein and Tahareh. These are the people who really carry forward the story of the Dawnbreakers. So I hope that we can learn more about Qudus a little bit later. But having fulfilled this promise of 18 individuals seeking and finding him, the Bab gathers together his Letters of the Living, all but 2 of them, because you might remember from the last video, Tahareh, who was the only female Letter of the Living, never actually met the Bab in person. And also from the last video, you might remember that the Bab had sent Mullah Ali off on this journey to Iraq to spread his writings there. And so he gathers together the Letters of the Living, all but 2, so there are 16 of them gathered together around the Bab, and he addresses them. And this speech that he gives them is now famously known as the Bab's Address to the Letters of the Living. And it's recorded in the Dawnbreakers, and in this speech, in this address, he tells his disciples that his own mission will not end with him, but that the entire purpose of him coming into the world is in fact to prepare the way for the coming of an even greater figure who is going to appear very soon after him. That great figure who has been promised in the scriptures of the world's religions, the one who will give to humanity the tools required to build world peace, and whose teachings will unlock new realms of human potential and will bring about a transformation in human civilization, the like of which we have never even imagined. And the Bab calls this person him whom God will make manifest. And so I'd love to just share with you a few words from the Bab's address to the letters of the living. He says to them, "O my beloved friends, I am preparing you for the advent of a mighty day. The secret of the day that is to come is now concealed. It can neither be divulged nor estimated. The newly born babe of that day excels the wisest and most venerable men of this time, and the lowliest and most unlearned of that period shall surpass in understanding the most erudite and accomplished divines of this age. Scatter throughout the length and breadth of this land, and prepare the way for his coming." And so with those words, the Bab sends his letters of the living out into the world to prepare the way for the coming of Baha'u'llah. And so in the next video, we will continue the story. In the meantime, I hope you continue to enjoy Promised One. For those of you who are fasting, I hope you continue to have a very enriching fast. And I would be so grateful if you could do 3 things. If you give this video a like, share it with your friends, and invite people to come to the Gate of Heaven Facebook event. Also, if you would like to support my music and videos, you can become a patron at patreon.com/lukeslot. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.